I want to talk about how to have access to knowledge, how to have access to knowledge from within. So I believe that the answer to all questions comes from within. I believe that everything you ever need to know, everything you ever want to know, you know already. You kind of have to dig it out or pull it out. Sometimes it's digging, sometimes it's pulling, sometimes it comes easy, sometimes it comes in a flash, sometimes you have to strain. But everything you know and ever want to know, you already know. Have you ever learned something new? It could be in any subject, it could be in any field, but you learned something that you thought was new and it kind of sounded true already. It kind of sounded familiar. Like maybe when you're in school and someone talks about history and you're like, oh, this story sounds familiar. I think I've heard this before. Or if someone tells you something and it feels right, as opposed to someone tells you something and it feels wrong. So I think that we have access to all knowledge. So getting that knowledge out is the issue. So one exercise that I do that I'm not going to claim to be a master at this. I'm a student also. I'm a student. And one exercise that I do is I go for walks like this and I ask myself questions. Well, sometimes I ask myself questions directly, or sometimes I ask the universe. I may address God. I may even address the spirit of a loved one, someone that's passed on. But ultimately, I try to get a dialogue going. And some people may argue with me, or they may debate, and they may say, "Well, you're talking to yourself." It doesn't matter. I've found that I get some of the most useful and profound answers and inspiration from this process. So what this process is I'll go for a walk, very similar to how I'm going now. And as I go for a walk, I'll tune into the natural beauty surrounding me. So I'll tune into the plants, the flowers, the birds, the trees. I will really get immersed in what I call everyday magic, which is the everyday beauty, the common beauty of your everyday surroundings. Okay, it's great if you're someplace, natural, with a lot of natural scenery, a lot of flora, fauna, but you can do it in the most sparse, unlikely environments, because once you get into a certain state, you'll find that there's beauty in everything. There's magic and beauty in everything. So back to the process of getting knowledge from within is that I'll start walking. I'll immerse myself in the beauty of my surroundings and everyday magic, and immerse myself in the beauty of the possession of my body. So that includes breathing, really inhaling the air, really enjoying the texture of the air. That means really being open to sights and sounds, and really immersing myself into the experience, the human experience, the living, breathing experience. And then when I get so immersed into the living, breathing experience and the everyday magic around me, so immersed to the point where I almost forget why, that my intention is to ask and look for answers and to look for guidance on questions of my life. Then I verbally ask the question that I'm pondering out aloud. I address it to whoever. Maybe it's the universe. Sometimes I talk to my mom, even though my mom has been gone. I talk to her. And then I listen to the first thing that comes out, the first thing that I feel. I feel the answer in my heart, and I speak it as it comes. And I've gotten a lot of guidance and wisdom and power from doing this exercise. And in fact, one time I got very immersed in this particular exercise on a long walk, and I was suddenly possessed with the urge to text inspirations. And so I put down all the inspirations in a text to myself, and I sent it to someone, and that person was very moved by what I sent, and she forwarded it to a lot of people, and she forwarded it to me later, maybe a year later, to remind me, oh, remember that time you sent, this text? And when I read it, it was timely, moving, inspirational, useful, profound, and even though it came from my hand, it came from my heart. It came from within. And anyway, that process you can use to address any sort of question, any sort of, whether it's a question or a decision, something that you want to do, whether it's a life question, a metaphysical question. You can use that process to address all kinds of issues and all kinds of concerns. So that's my spiel on that. And give it a try. Go for a walk. Get immersed in the everyday magic of your surroundings. Get immersed in the possession of your body. Get immersed in the magic of living, breathing, of being alive. And when you get so immersed that you forget your troubles and your worries and your concerns, when you almost forget your troubles and worries and concerns, then that's when you start addressing to yourself these life's questions. You can address the universe, you can address God, you can address spirits of those that you feel guide and protect you, and then listen to the answer. The first thing that comes out, that comes from your heart, whether you speak it, whether you write it, take note of it. And you don't have to take note. Whatever information comes out, don't take it too seriously. So you don't have to think, okay, this is the mandate from heaven. You don't have to take it too seriously, but give it consideration. So that's what I got to say on that. Give it a try. Signing out.